The Guadalupe Treaty, officially known as the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, was signed on February 2, 1848, marking the end of the Mexican-American War. This pivotal document resulted in Mexico ceding approximately 55% of its territory to the United States, including what are now California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and parts of Colorado, Nevada, and Utah. In exchange, the United States paid Mexico $15 million and assumed $3.25 million in debts owed by Mexico to American citizens. This treaty is significant because it not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape of North America, but also profoundly influenced the cultural and demographic evolution of the newly acquired territories. The significance of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo extends beyond its immediate territorial implications. Firstly, it set a precedent for American expansionism under the doctrine of manifest destiny, fueling further westward expansion, and the notion that the United States was destined to spread across the North American continent. Secondly, the treaty attempted to protect the property rights of Mexican nationals who found themselves residing in U.S. territory post-cession, although the enforcement of these protections has been historically inconsistent. One real-world application illustrating the treaty's impact is the cultural diversity seen in the southwestern United States today. This region is characterized by a rich blend of Anglo and Hispanic cultures, a direct result of this historical land transfer. Another example is the ongoing legal and political disputes over land rights and water use, issues that trace back to provisions and promises made or broken under the treaty. Opinions on the treaty's legacy vary. Some view it as a fair settlement post-conflict, while others see it as an example of American imperialism and injustice against Mexico. Challenges associated with the treaty include the historical failure to uphold the civil and property rights of Mexican Americans, leading to systemic inequalities that resonate to this day. Controversies also arise from the treaty's role in exacerbating tensions related to immigration and border control, themes that remain contentious in U.S. politics. In essence, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo serves as a cornerstone in understanding not only the expansionist policies of the 19th century, but also the complex cultural and legal ramifications that continue to influence U.S.-Mexico relations. It connects with issues of immigration, regional identity, and civil rights, making it an enduring topic of relevance as debates over its historical interpretation and modern implications persist into 2024 and beyond. The Guadalupe Treaty, formerly known as the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, was signed on February 2, 1848, and marked the end of the Mexican-American War. It is a pivotal document in North American history, establishing peace between the United States and Mexico. One of its principal outcomes was the transfer of large territories from Mexico to the United States, including present-day California, Nevada, Utah, and portions of Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Wyoming. This expansion significantly shaped the geopolitical landscape of North America. The treaty's significance goes beyond territorial acquisition. It laid the foundation for the diverse cultural tapestry of the American Southwest, integrating Mexican culture into the American identity. This cultural blending is evident in the region's cuisine, architecture, and customs. The treaty also guaranteed the protection of property rights and civil rights for Mexican nationals residing in the ceded territories. The implications of these protections are profound, influencing legal discussions and civil rights movements in subsequent generations. Two real-world examples illustrate the continuing relevance of the treaty. First, the legal battles over land grants in New Mexico underscore ongoing disputes over property rights promised under the treaty. These conflicts highlight the challenges in interpreting historical documents in modern legal contexts. Second, the cultural festivals in the American Southwest, such as Fiestas Patrias, celebrate the region's rich Mexican heritage, demonstrating the lasting impact of the treaty's cultural provisions. Opinions differ on whether the treaty's promises are being honored today. Proponents argue that the multiculturalism facilitated by the treaty enriches American society. Critics, however, point to the inadequate enforcement of the treaty's land and civil rights provisions, suggesting a historical oversight that needs rectification. Such criticisms reflect broader issues of historical justice and recognition. Controversies surrounding the treaty often revolve around differing interpretations of its clauses, particularly those relating to land rights and cultural protections. Some view the treaty as a tool of American imperialism, highlighting the power imbalance in its negotiation and implementation. Others see it as a pragmatic resolution, given the geopolitical realities of the time. The treaty's influence extends to contemporary discussions on immigration and border policies, as it set a precedent for the region's binational character. Understanding the Guadalupe Treaty reveals the complexities of national identity, sovereignty, and historical legacy in shaping modern America. Its legacy reminds us of the enduring interplay between history, law, and cultural identity in shaping societies. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed on February 2, 1848, marks a significant turning point in North American history. It officially ended the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, and dramatically reshaped the territorial boundaries between the United States and Mexico. Under the treaty, Mexico ceded approximately half of its territory, including present-day California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and parts of Colorado, Wyoming, New Mexico, and Texas, to the United States. In return, the U.S. agreed to pay Mexico $15 million and assume $325 million in debts owed by Mexico to American citizens. The significance of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo cannot be overstated. It not only transformed the geopolitical landscape of North America, but also set a precedent for future American expansion under the doctrine of manifest destiny. This expansion had profound implications for indigenous populations, as it spurred increased migration westward and subsequent displacement of Native American tribes. Additionally, the treaty laid the groundwork for the rich cultural and economic tapestry we see in the southwestern United States today. One real-world application of the treaty's impact is the current demographic composition of the American Southwest, where Hispanic culture and influence are prominent due to the historical blending of Mexican and American societies. Another example is the land rights issues that have arisen over the years, as some descendants of Mexican landowners have contested the loss of their ancestral lands, citing treaty violations. There are varied opinions regarding whether the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo has been honored, particularly concerning the rights of Mexican Americans and indigenous peoples. Some argue that the treaty's promises, especially regarding property rights and citizenship, were not fully upheld, leading to long-standing grievances and legal battles. Critics highlight the systemic inequities and discrimination faced by Mexican Americans as evidence of the treaty's partial implementation. Controversies surrounding the treaty include ongoing debates over border security and immigration policy, which exacerbate tensions between historical commitments and modern-day realities. Furthermore, the expansive cession of territory under the treaty remains a point of contention in discussions about colonialism and historic justice. The historical context and significance of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo intricately connect to broader themes of territorial expansion, cultural integration, and the enduring struggle for civil rights. Understanding this context enriches our comprehension of the treaty's long-term effects on both bilateral relations and the internal dynamics of the United States. Through this lens, we see how history continues to shape present-day challenges and dialogues on equity, identity, and international cooperation. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, signed on February 2, 1848, was a pivotal agreement that ended the Mexican-American War. It ceded a significant portion of Mexico's northern territories to the United States, including present-day California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and parts of Colorado, Nevada, and Utah. This treaty not only redefined the borders between the two nations, but also promised certain rights to the Mexican citizens residing in these newly acquired territories, such as the protection of property rights and the freedom to practice their religion and culture. The significance of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo lies in its profound impact on the territorial expansion of the United States and its legacy in shaping modern American society. It established a foundation for the westward expansion that characterized 19th century America and influenced the socio-political dynamics in the Southwest, where the blending of Mexican and American cultures continues to this day. A real-world example of the treaty's application is the land grants promised to Mexican residents by the treaty. Many descendants of these individuals have struggled for generations to prove ownership and maintain their ancestral lands. Another example is the cultural implications of the treaty, which led to a vibrant fusion of traditions in states like New Mexico, where festivals and daily life reflect a blend of Mexican and American heritages. Opinions on the treaty's legacy vary. Some see it as a necessary step in the United States' manifest destiny, while others view it as an example of American imperialism. This dichotomy reflects the ongoing debate about the fairness and ethical implications of the treaty and whether its terms, especially regarding rights and land ownership, have been adequately honored over the years. Challenges surrounding the treaty include issues like the loss of land for Hispanic families and the broader implications of cultural assimilation. These controversies highlight the complexities of honoring the treaty's promises in modern times. Moreover, the question of whether the treaty is still being honored in 2024 ties into broader discussions on indigenous rights and the protection of cultural heritage, pointing to a need for continuing dialogue and reconciliation. Ultimately, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo remains a cornerstone in understanding the historical and contemporary relations between the United States and Mexico. Its influence extends beyond borders, impacting debates on immigration, cultural identity, and the ongoing responsibility to uphold international agreements. This legacy underscores the interconnectedness of historical treaties and present-day socio-political realities, inviting ongoing reflection and action.